When sport pages are asking ChatGPT and Grok to simulate Serie A 24-25, who will reach Champions League, who will win the title, what will be the 7 teams that will actually enter Europe, and they are putting that news as their main news because it's finishing on the front page and they are even opening it at page 2, well, you know that they don't have a lot of things to say. You know, there is not a lot of things that is croccante, that is extremely exciting at the moment. Luckily, I was able to dig a bit further and I found a lot of things to say about our beloved Juventus. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you are all doing well. We start also today with a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe and also to put the notification ring on. Important because at the moment you know that we are increasing the videos per day. It's important if you don't want to miss any video, put that notification ring on and interact. Let me know, I'm really curious. Always curious to read you because now we start. At the end of the video, backstage of a few failures, well, one huge big failure of this morning's video when I was recording. I don't have a lot of things to say. You know that in terms of news, there is not something really croccante, something super exciting. And then also a beautiful surprise, the exclusive images of the players that were going to the restaurant yesterday. So let's start with the AI. What did ChatGPT, what did Grok actually answered to that top 7 at the end of 24-25? According to ChatGPT and Grok, they have the same first 5 position. Same. Inter is winning it. Atalanta is 3rd. 2nd is Napoli. 4th is Juve in both cases, followed by Bologna. Then there is a slight change between Lazio and Roma, 6th and 7th according to ChatGPT. Roma and Lazio, 6th and 7th according to Grok. Will that happen? I have absolutely no idea. But if you are asking me, do you sign Beppe for this season? If you are looking at how things went, I tell you yes. I tell you yes. Then, of course, finishing 3rd would be even more beautiful. But I take it. I take it because it's vital to qualify to Champions League and we all know it. Tudor, how can he reach that top 4? Well, if he trusts only ChatGPT will not be enough. So he needs to do other things. For example, finding the goals that are missing. Because if you are looking at all the players, and we are comparing last season with this season, their goal contribution, especially the players that we were waiting for, well, we have a big, huge deficit. Koopmeiners, minus 12 goals at the moment, a total disaster. Nico Conceicao, Nico Gonzalez, even less. 13 goals less than last season. Conceicao, minus 3. Vlahovic, minus 4. Minus 8 for Milik. And we know it, he didn't even play last year. 8 goals. And then you see only Yildiz plus 1. It's not enough. So looking for goals is extremely important because with these players, Koopmeiners, Conceicao only, you have a deficit of 25 goals. Well, if you are able to find them, it will be extremely important because we need to score. We need to score more than the 1 goal against Genoa because we are playing Roma. And Roma, in a way or in another, they are always able to find the net. So pay attention to that one. Then, of course, it's not only ChatGPT, it's not only finding a goal, but also making the adjustments to make it. Yesterday we said it, Koopmeiners should not start against Roma. There is a big duel there. It will not be Nico Gonzalez behind the striker because the performance against Genoa has been really appreciated by the Croatian coach. So Nico Gonzalez could continue as a wing-back on the right side. But now there are 2 players that are fighting for 1 starting spot. Kolo Muani or Conceicao. Conceicao that received the trust from the coach to enter. Kolo Muani received 0 minutes, so now that's a fight. That's a duel there between the Portuguese and the Frenchman. It's not only for the starting spot against Roma that they are fighting, but also to see a possible extension or permanent deal for Conceicao or extension of a loan with an obligation to buy for the Frenchman, but also there 8 games to convince because they will not have the time in the Club World Cup because their loan will be over at the end of this season. So Juventus is obliged to take a decision extremely fast, or one or the other, or none of them, or both of them. Let me know between these 3 choices what you would do. Would you extend or make it permanent for the Portuguese? Would you go for Kolo Muani? Would you go for both of them, or would you go for none of them? Let me know in the comment section. I'm extremely curious. A partially answer, we'll already receive it against Roma, so let's wait for it. What did they do yesterday? I told you since Wednesday, since yesterday, they increased the training session, not only once, but twice per day. I told you that a big part would have been for that physical training session to increase, to put minutes in the legs, to go towards that intensity that Tudor is asking. And if we are looking at some images with Thuram, with Lloyd Kelly, totally on their knees. The face of Locatelli, the face of Weston McKennie tells it all. Really, it tells it all. It's a total disaster for them that are not able to follow. On the other side, we are obliged to increase that intensity, the training session, so that they are able for the last part of the season to equal, or at least trying to go close to what Tudor is asking for them. The good news is that yesterday we saw Andrea Cambiaso with the team. Pay attention, he didn't train the entirety of the training session. Maybe today that would be already a good news, but Cambiaso is going really directly towards the bench in the game in the Olimpico. So not from the start. Let's see if we continue with Weston McKennie in that position and maybe some minutes for the Italian 25 years old boy. Let's see. I'm really curious, but Cambiaso is going there. Douglas Luiz didn't train with the team yet, but they are telling us from La Continasta that they are quite positive that he will make it to train with the team at the end of this week. So today, tomorrow, maybe on Saturday, and then travel with the team as well to have an extra midfielder in case of need. Yesterday, for some people, when we made a video with 3 names, Scannavino, Cambiaso, and then there was also Koopmeiners. Well, we told you that Koopmeiners should be for 2 weeks, 3 weeks more isolated, not putting pressure, not considered as a starter of today as the team, could even be not called up for the game of Roma. Some people said Beppe, but that's a fake news because yesterday he was training with the team. Well, nobody said that Koopmeiners would be out of the team. Nobody said that he will do his training sessions with the team. Can be that he's doing extra work, can be that he's actually decreasing the amount of work so that some parts of the training session is not participating with the team, but nobody is considering at the moment ready to start the game against Roma, an important game like that, because they are trying to recuperate in, and I told you, physically. Yeah. Who did we see yesterday? We saw again Adzic. Adzic not only in the training session with Igor Tudor, but also at the restaurant yesterday, because he's really part of the first team, and I think that was a beautiful sign of respect for the player that has a contract, and it's written black on white. He's a player from the first team that will be divided between the next gen and the first team. That has been written on his contract in the beginning of the season when we were able to read it. So it's a partial player that is playing first team, second team, training a lot with the first team. When he has the possibilities, he's there. Are there chances to see Adzic with the first team? Yes, there are, like we have some chances to see Gil Pucce. Is it a certainty? Is it a promise? No. It also depends on what the next gen are doing, because they are playing Crotone. They want to go towards the playoffs, and Adzic is an important key there, because you know it. Playoff will be extremely important for the next gen team, for the team of Brambilla. Who was there yesterday at the restaurant? Well, for the very first time, I believe, this season, we see the 27 players of Juventus Football Club. 27 is actually the squad depth of Juve, including the 3 goalkeepers, Perin, that took the selfie, Pinsoglio, and Di Gregorio. That's the picture. Who else was there? Well, we saw Milik, we saw the injured players like Bremer, like Cabal. We saw also Gatti, unfortunately, with crutches. If you didn't watch the images, stay with us until the end of the video, because I will show you. So the entire team was there. It was really, according to me, confronting, honestly, because when I'm watching the 27 players that are there sitting at the table, it's true that a lot of them are not available for Juve, or were not available for Juve. I told you about Cabal, I told you about Bremer, but there are other players now. Gatti will not be there. There are some players like Rui that didn't really find the field a lot of time. We didn't see Adzic a lot of time, so we have 3 goalkeepers. So from 27, actually, if you are really counting, we have way less players that are really representing Juve on the field. So squad depth will be something important, I believe, next season, depending what competition we will play. Yesterday, Tudor was there as well. He was not on the picture, but we saw him arriving. So Tudor was there. He was asking the team to be there, at the entirety of the team to be there, to be complete. Super important, because not only is working during the training session, I told you, but also he's asking to create a group, to create a team, to create a family. Values that are extremely important for him, because he was living the family dream of Juve in the years 2000, when he was part of Juve, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, etc., etc. So he knows how important it is. Funny thing, restaurant of Bonucci, that in the month of February, when Thiago Motta decided also to go with the team there it was the same place. Hopefully it will bring better result. Hopefully it's not a doomed place, because that would be a total disaster. Gleison Bremer spoke important words. He said, look, my highlights at you, of course, was winning the Coppa Italia. That was probably the most beautiful thing that I lived here, because it's a trophy. However, I'm extremely hungry for more. My ambition would have been to win the Scudetto for Juve, maybe even something more with Juve. Unfortunately, I had that big stop and it was not possible to go for it, but I'm sure that I have time to write history here at Juve. So hopefully, really hopefully, Bremer will come back as soon as possible. Don't rush. We are predicting him to be back at the Club World Cup, at least travel with the team, maybe playing some here minutes, some there minutes, not from the start because he will not be ready, but Gleison Bremer, we know it, and let's not come back too much about it, has been really essential, is essential for Juventus of today, and we saw it, but also for tomorrow. Gazzetta dello Sport, fantastic, Gazzetta dello Sport today, I don't know how to react about that news, but they're speaking about the youth of Juve, probably one of the only good news, that Juventus is the team that is actually using more under 21s, and if we are speaking about a disaster season, maybe that's the only good news, that Juventus was able to really push on going with players under 21 to let them have experiences. They are speaking about Kenan Yildiz, they are speaking about Nicolo Savona, about Conceicao, that in the meanwhile is 22, but also speaking about Bangula, the big surprise of this season, the one that nobody was expecting, absolutely yes, and apparently Gazzetta dello Sport, well, I don't know, I can be wrong, but looks like this is not Samuel Bangula. Let's see. Anyway, happy birthday to Adrien Rabiot, that today is celebrating his birthday. 30 years old, because he's born in 1995. Joyeux anniversaire, Adrien. Joyeux anniversaire, Adrien. Look, I will be extremely unpopular, I know it, but according to me, that has been one of the mistakes of this summer, to not continue with Adrien. And Adrien, that I tell you, didn't go away for money, didn't go away for I don't know what, of Thiago Motta, not Thiago Motta, but didn't believe anymore in a project that back then at the time we could have all stay behind. We all believed in, we were all dreaming about it. He didn't believe in it, like Danilo didn't believe in it. Of course, Danilo had a contract, Adrien Rabiot had to renew. He didn't really believe in that project, and he said no, I'm not ready to put my face on that one. Let's see what will happen with my future. Even if I have to stay a few months without the team, I will find something. Anyway, I take the risk, but I don't sign if I don't believe in the project. It's a pity, but it's like that. So I tell you that probably it's one of the big mistakes that we did this summer, to not extend, to not find a way to keep Adrien Rabiot. I know it's an extremely unpopular news. I know that Adrien is not always appreciated by a lot of fans. I appreciated him as a player, but also as a person, and especially as a person, because I had the opportunity to meet him, to speak with him, not just once, a few times, and Adrien is a fantastic person. It's a pity, but it is what it is. Not part of you anymore, so we turn the page and we think about the players that we have now, and we think about the big game that we have to play on April Sunday, the first Sunday of the month, because it's Roma Juve and it's a big one. Juventini, if you enjoyed the video, please put a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe, and we end with the exclusive images provided by Juventibus. Thank you Lorenza, thank you Luca, thank you Massimo, thank you Virginia, thank you to all of you, the team of Juventibus, because it's always nice to enter, to have these exclusive images. So maximum of like, continue to subscribe, grazie, forza, Juve.
Mangiate con noi? Buonasera. No, carino che si scrive.
Complimenti!
Ciao!